Haven't we already covered this guy? What do you mean we have and we haven't? Oh, no damage. Are you serious? Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and today, yes, Larry is correct. This is a figure that has been covered, but also hasn't been. This is the legacy version of Soundwave. And, unfortunately, all he is the Siege version of Soundwave, just without the battle damage. Yeah, I know. Hasbro really expects us to pay money for this. Well, I'm not too big a fool on it. I bought this one used. So I got something of a deal on it. But I still don't like the fact that Hasbro felt the need to make a new one. But, as you'll also be able to see, he does also bear more resemblance to his 1984 original figure. So without the battle damage, he at least looks a little bit better. But now comes the biggest thing that I gotta break to all of you. Is that so far his gimmick of having little guys to eject is kind of pointless. When this Soundwave was released back in the Siege line, they did put out some cassette minions. The first wave of guys was very common to find. You could find them at just about any store you went to. The second set of figures was released in a considerably smaller amount because I never found any. I had to rely on a contributor to donate to me a set of the second wave of figures. And this was just before COVID. You know, it would be another couple of years before COVID would be the problem with shipping. So this was more Hasbro being dickheads than anything else. I do apologize for my language there, but Hasbro has a history of being jerks like that on this. And then they put out a third wave of cassettes that they keep as exclusives. Go figure. But as I've seen from so far released stuff for the Legacy line, there are no cassette figures. So, if you want little mini-cons to go into Soundwave, lots of luck! Although I do have a possible suggestion, because I managed to pick this guy up just before we recorded this video. This is Studio 86 Rumble. And we've got him already in cassette mode. Let's see if he fits. Well, by golly, he does fit. I guess this will work for the moment, since at the moment, we don't have a Studio 86 Soundwave. So, there's your solution, my viewers. If you want a cassette figure, try to track down a Studio 86 Rumble, and you've got one. Which would probably mean also that Studio Bumblebee Ravage probably would also fit inside. So there you go. A couple of solutions, and hopefully they aren't too hard to find. I know Ravage certainly isn't. He's been a peg warmer most of the year. Rumble just came out, and unfortunately, where I bought him at, they only had one of him, and he was hidden. So, thank my lucky stars I found him, and hopefully if things are on track, possibly in January, we'll do a review of Rumble. But, at any rate, back to Soundwave. Now we'll take a look here at Soundwave's accessories. We're going to start first with the ordinary gun. This is the only one that doesn't resemble a weapon from the Generation 1 era. I mean, it's done up as a nice science fiction-y like gun. And it is on a hinge, so it can be bent outward to make a nice long rifle. So I believe the Siege version, it had instructions to make a bigger gun using all the guns, but that's not included in the Legacy line, unfortunately. And then next up, we have his concussion blaster. Which is done up mainly to resemble the Generation 1 era's gun. But instead of having this piece removable, it is instead retractable. Quite convenient. And then next we have his micro missile launcher here on his shoulder. And again, it, like the concussion blaster, they're designed to somewhat resemble batteries, just like the original ones were. But another thing I want to point out, because Hasbro obviously didn't take the time to fix this in the 4 years since they made this toy, and that is this post here on the missile launcher. It can easily be pulled out. So it can easily get separated and get lost, or even swallowed by a child. It's taking a little effort, so maybe they made some improvement. Nope, came right out. Came right out, so it's still got the same flaw as the original. Hasbro really should have, if you're going to release a toy again, Hasbro, that you've put out, check things over and make improvements, because this should have been fixed. I should not have been able to pull that out like that. So if there's anybody from Hasbro watching, you people really should have fixed that. There's no excuse for that. And at any rate, let's take a look at Soundwave's articulation, and it will be exactly the same as the one for the Siege version. You can turn his head from side to side, and you can rock the head up and down a bit. It is on a ball joint. His arms will go out to the side about so far, and you can rotate his arms at the shoulder all the way. He can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees, and he has a swivel at the bicep. You can also twist him there at his hips, so he does have some dance moves going. You can spread his legs apart into a full split. He does have a thigh cut. You can raise his legs at the hip almost 90 degrees, and you can bend his knee, like at the knee, 90 degrees as well. So all in all, he still has great articulation. Okay, before we transform Soundwave, I do want to point out that it does have the instructions to make the long-barreled version of his gun. They are included in the instructions, so I do want to clarify that to people, because I was wrong, and I am willing to admit it when I am wrong. Especially since we got another thing wrong, those things should have been at the back. So now Soundwave is correct in how he looks. Now we're going to transform him. The first thing we got to do is he's not going to have any accessories on him whatsoever. Then next we're going to fold his hands inside his arms here, like so. Then we come around to his backside. We're going to pull down his backpack and get it to open a spot here on his back behind his head. Because we're going to rotate the head inside like that. And get his back piece back in. We're also going to raise up the backpack a little bit. Then we come back down here to his legs. We're going to open these covers here on the back, fold his feet inside, open up these panels here, and then fold them back down so that they cover his feet. Then we're going to rotate them to the side and connect them together like so. Then back here, these panels here should fold up. And thanks to the holes on them, they should connect to some spots on his leg. And you're going to come up here to his arms on the front. You're going to bring them up like so. And then you're going to detach them a bit at the shoulder. Just fold them down like so. On this side, we got a protrusion to bring out, so you just fold that out. We're going to separate these pieces on his backpack and then bring it up so that it connects like so. But we're also going to adjust things here on the back. Fold it down, bring the legs up to connect. So that way it's all done like so. Then we'll come back down here and continue to fold his arms down. And they should connect down here underneath the cassette door. And then we'll rotate the arms so they come along down here at the bottom. Once again, make sure the shoulders are secured. We'll turn the arms. Come on, there we go. Because they can also connect together like so. And then these pieces can be folded out. And then we got these here at the side to be some extra landing gear. And then we adjust these pieces out to the side a bit. And then there we have it. Soundwave is now done up as a spaceship. Now, of course, we can also attach his gun in. The regular gun would attach down here, like so, to be kept out of the way. And then you can attach the other gun, the other weapons, onto the top of his engines. There we go. That's better. And then now Soundwave is ready to travel among the stars. But of course, he's more famous for his Generation 1 appearance of a cassette player. So now we get to my thoughts. Why did they bring back Soundwave? Most likely the reason they brought back Soundwave is that they decided to include Blaster into the line. Blaster was released at the tail end of the Kingdom line, so they also carried him over into the Legacy line. So I guess that way you can have the two of them battle it out with each other. But unfortunately, the lack of any plans to bring over some of the minifigures to go with it is kind of stupid. I mean, yeah, granted, a lot of them that they did in the first wave were of the more popular characters. But this time around, they could have probably brought in some of the other ones that haven't been brought into modern times. Squawk Talk, Beast Box, Slugfest, and Overkill have yet to get modern versions of their original forms. And now would have probably been a great time to have considered bringing them in. Or at the very least, coming up with some idea to incorporate the characters again. I don't know why they had to go that route. We know they went this route of using the same mold because Hasbro is known for its cheapness. Just ask any other toy reviewer out there that covers Hasbro's toys, and we can all point out the cheapness, the reused things. So, if you missed Soundwave during the first time he appeared in 2018, now you can get one that doesn't have any battle damage. Or if you'd preferred one that didn't have any battle damage, now's your chance to get one. But if you already have the 2018 version and you're happy with it, then you're probably not going to find a whole lot of reason to spend $40 to buy this one. At any rate, that's my review of the Legacy version of Soundwave. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content that we feature here on this channel, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.